Come have a nice day. Today is Saturday, 23rd of November 2024. This day is famous for the celebration of Fibonacci Day. Celebrates the Italian mathematician Leonardo Pisano, known as Fibonacci, who introduced the Hindu-Arabic numeral system to Europe and is famous for the Fibonacci sequence. So, starting with the world news, including Trump picks Congresswoman Lori Childs, a dream mirror, to be the Labour secretary. Trump to appoint hedge fund investor Besant as Treasury Secretary. Prime Minister Modi are honored with the Global Peace Award as Indian American minorities launch AIAM in Washington. NATO and Ukraine to hold emergency talks after Russia hypersonic missile strike. World Health Organization declares monkeypox outbreak a continuing global health emergency. Putin gifts lion, and brown bears to North Korea zoo. Now, starting with the Hindu newspaper briefly, FTA free trade agreement talks with India to relaunch early in 2025. United Kingdom Prime Minister tells the Parliament. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer delivers his statement on Conference of Party 29 and G20 summits at the House of Commons in London on November 21, 2024. The talks were paused as general election cycles kicked in for both nations, with the free trade agreement and negotiations that began under a Conservative Party government now being picked up by a Labour-led administration in the charge in the United Kingdom. The free trade agreement negotiations with India are expected to significantly boost the estimated GBP 42 million a year bilateral trade partnership will be relaunched early in the new year. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has informed the United Kingdom Parliament in London. It came during his statement to update the House of Commons on Thursday, November 21, 2024, about his G20 summit visit to Brazil, where said he had a good discussion with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi among the world leaders. Russia-Ukraine war. Putin vows more tests of Orishnik hypersonic missile in combat. Russian President Vladimir Putin chairs a meeting with the Ministry of Defense leadership, representatives of the defense industry, and missile systems developers in Moscow, Russia on November 22, 2024. Vladimir Putin announces Russia's continued testing of the Orishnik hypersonic missile in combat with the stockpile ready for use. Russia's President Vladimir Putin said on Friday, November 22, 2024, that Russia would keep testing its new Orishnik hypersonic missile in the combat and had stock ready for use. Mr. Putin was speaking a day after Russia fired the new intermediate range weapon into Ukraine for the first time. A step, he said, was prompted by Ukraine's use of United States ballistic missile and the British cruise missile to hit Russia. The Kremlin leader described the missile's first use as a successful test and said more would follow. We will continue with these tests, including in combat conditions, depending on the situation and the nature of the security threats that are created for Russia, he said in televised comments to defense officials and missile developers. Moreover, we have a stock of such products, a stock of such system ready for use, he said. A United States official, however, said the weapons Russia had used was an experimental one. The official said Russia has a limited number of them, and that is not a capability that Russia is able to regularly deploy on the battlefield. Now, going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that society has right to safety. Supreme Court on 3 new laws. A bench comprising of Justice Surya Kant and Ujjal Bhuyan emphasized the need to assess the effectiveness of these new laws rather than dismissing them prematurely. Adding citizens have a right to live free of crime. New Delhi, the Supreme Court on Friday underscored the importance of the striking balance between protecting the rights of the accused and addressing society's demand for safety and justice, as it took up a challenge to various previous provisions of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita (BNS) and the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita (BNSS). The new laws, which replaced the Indian Penal Code and the Code of Criminal Procedure from July 1st, including provisions for tackling organized crime, but their constitutional validity has been assailed for illegally diluting safeguards present in the specialized legislations. A bench comprising of Justice Surya Kant and Ujjal Bhuyan emphasized the need to assess the effectiveness of these new laws rather than dismissing them prematurely, uh, adding citizens have a right to live free of crime. Conflict claimed 258 lives in Manipur, security advisor. At least 258 people have died in the ethnic violence that has shrouded Manipur for 18 months, the state security advisor Kuldeep Singh said on Friday, adding that an additional 90 Central Armed Police Force companies or approximately 9,000 personnel will be deployed in the strife-torn province. Manipur has been in the throes of violence since May 3, 2023. When clashes first broke out between the community and the Koki communities, the conflict has shown no signs of abating, with more communities getting sucked in the violence. The total number of deceased, including militants, is 258, Singh said after the chairing a security review meeting in Impal. Amid a surge in violence, the center has rushed additional troops to maintain law and order in the northeastern, close to 40,000 people from the Central Force, such as the Assam Rifles, Central Reserve Police Force, CRPF, BSF Border Security Force, Indo-Tibetan Border Police, ITBP, and Sashtra Simha Bhal SSB are currently deployed across the Manipur, apart from the state police and the Indian Army. Congress looks to corner NDA on Adani row, but allies flag poll worry. Congress party workers protested against the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and a billionaire businessman Gautam Adani in Kolkata on Friday. The Congress is in touch with the allies to launch a united attack on the Narendra Modi government over the Adani bribery allegations, but some of its partners believe that an advance showing in the Maharashtra and Jharkhand polls might kill the Bharatiya Janata Party and edge to counter the opposition. Our now going towards the economy of the country, from the business point of view, our gig firm is set up for global league, says Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Speaking at the 8th India Ideas Conclave organized by the Indian Foundation in Bangalore, Sitharaman said India's startups and gig economy units truly represent the kind of innovation that India is capable of. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said India should have a Bharat Food and Drugs Administration (FDA), which could set standards like the US FDA and help accelerate exports of pharmaceutical formations. Adani, aware of probe a year ago, told markets news false indictment. In US FBI seized nephew Sagar Adani's electronic device in March 2023. The United States indictment and CC charge claims that Gautam Adani and Sagar Adani were aware of the bribery probe of the United States authorities at least since March 2023, but continued to withhold such information as they went about raising funds in the United States. Adani has denied all allegations. Bitcoin rides the Trump wave to near the record high, sets sights on $1 lakh target. Bitcoin above $99,000, striking distance of $1 lakh cryptocurrency up 45% since Trump's election win. Bitcoin is one of the standout winners of so-called Trump traders, assets that are seen as winning or losing from the Trump's policies. Now going to the science and tech, we have Tamil Nadu plans how to tackle the health risks linked to climate change. The One Health approach emphasizes the collaborative efforts across the sectors such as public health, veterinary medicine, and the environmental sciences. The One Health and Climate Hub to conduct comprehensive studies to map health risks and diseases exacerbated by climate change and work on the developing predictive models using artificial intelligence to assess future disease trends based on the climate scenarios. The Tamil Nadu government will set up a One Health and a Climate Hub at the Department of Health and Family Welfare to address the interconnected and challenges of the human, animal, and environmental health in the face of climate change. Among its various activities, the hub will conduct comprehensive studies to map health risks and disease exacerbated by climate change and work on developing predictive models using artificial intelligence to assess the future disease trends based on the climate scenarios. According to World Health Organization, the One Health approach is an integrated and unifying framework that aims to balance and optimize the health of people, animal, and ecosystem. Recognizing the growing threats posed by zoonotic diseases, vector-borne illnesses, antimicrobial resistance, biodiversity loss, and climate change, One Health emphasizes collaborative efforts across sectors such as public health, veterinary medicine, and environmental sciences. A press release said Tamil Nadu faces a challenge such as rising temperatures, zoonotic outbreaks, vector-borne disease, coastal vulnerabilities, and biodiversity loss, demanding an integrated and proactive approach to safeguard and the health of communities, particularly vulnerable populations such as those in tribal, coastal, and high-risk areas. Crowdsourced devices help provide complete picture of air pollution. A thick layer of smog develops the sky as air pollution shot up to its worst level this session in New Delhi. While PM 2.5 concentration skyrocketed in Delhi overall this week, the government's index was kept at 500. Residents turned to crowdsource air pollution data, which reflected the full extent of rise in the PM levels. Over the last week, even has a pollution levels in New Delhi and much of the North India rushed past levels anywhere else in the world. Government-run air quality monitors only showed a scores of up to 500, a result of an indexing standards that measures multiple pollutants and impact on health and therefore does not necessarily peak when a single pollutant records new highs. In October month of 2014, the Union government launched India's own national air quality index, which would register a score of 401 to 500 if PM 2.5 level hit 250 or more. Those levels hit more than 1600 on Monday, November 18, 2024. Baku climate talks run into the overtime aim over the climate finance. Environmental activists protested during the conference of Baku 29, United Nations Climate Change Conference in Baku, Azerbaijan on November 22, 2024. The developed countries offered no more than $250 billion by 2035 as the new collective quantified goal for climate finance (NCQG). New collective quantified goal for climate finance. Despite acknowledging that at least $700 billion would be needed until 2030 to help developing countries. Climate talks at Azerbaijan's Baku scheduled to end on Friday, November 22nd, that is yesterday, 2024, while extended by another day after the latest version of the draft agreement was deemed unacceptable by several developing countries. The developed countries offer no more than $250 billion by 2035 as the new collective quantified goal of our climate finance NCQG, despite acknowledging that at least $700 billion would be needed until 2030 to help the developing countries. Moreover, with no commitment that this would be dispersed to developing countries in affordable terms, several countries and civil society groups says that this is extremely inadequate to counter the challenges directed by the climate change. While closed-door meetings are still underway at Baku, sources told the Hindu that delegates representing the European Union, which comprises a bulk of the developed donor countries, deemed the ask of the $1 trillion a year unacceptably high. Using the body's own defenses to fight a cancer. New research offers a clue from COVID-19. Broadly speaking, cancer is a rogue colony of body cells that grow uncontrollably, feed on the body's resources, and spread to other parts of the body through the bloodstream. Cancer, often called the emperor of all maladies, remains a formidable adversary despite decades of the scientific progress. However, research in recent years has brought us closer to unlocking new ways to combat it. A study from the Northwestern University in Chicago, published in the November issue of the Journal of Clinical Investigation, has garnered attention for discovering that white blood cells activated by severe COVID-19 demonstrate cancer-fighting abilities. Working with the laboratory mice, researchers showed that the spread of cancer, also shown as metastasis, could be altered by a specialized type of the white blood cells called induced non-classical monocytes. First, enzymes. These cells can be generated through the several infections like COVID-19 or by using certain chemicals. Once activated, first enzymes are able to leave blood vessels and migrate to tumors, where they launch an attack on cancer cells. COVID-19 is known to cause worse outcomes for other individuals and those affected by ailments, including cancer. However, there are rare reports of cancer going into the remission absence of the disease following COVID-19. Understanding why chemotherapy is a lifeline in cancer care. Chemotherapy, which means chemical therapy, refers to using medicines to treat cancer, targeting cells that grow and divide quickly. While chemotherapy may be revered for its side effects, its role in saving lives cannot be overstated. It plays a critical role in managing the growing epidemic of cancer. On the November 13, at a government hospital in Tamil Nadu, the son of the woman who was receiving the chemotherapy for Hodgkin lymphoma stabbed her doctor, disturbed by the suffering that his mother was undergoing. Notably, the family and had been to other hospitals and were advised everywhere that one of the side effects of the chemotherapy the woman was undergoing would after her lungs. As his mother found it difficult to breathe, her son decided to attack the doctor who was offering her treatment. Okay, thank you.